This is Chase the dog. Chase the dog is sleeping while I do the video. Okay, open up to page 35 in your new packet, your chapter 10 part 2 packet. We're going to go over what's called vertex form. Now, before we do vertex form, we're going to look at an absolute value equation. Y equals 2 times the absolute value of x plus 1 minus 3. Now, believe it or not, you once knew how to graph that. Let's see if you remember. The way you started was you first identified the vertex. The vertex was the opposite of the number you saw in here. So this vertex is going to be -1, and then it was going to be the number you saw out here. So -1, -3. So that meant you went over here. You went -1, 1, 2, 3, -3, and you started at the vertex. Now, if this had been, if A was 1, you would have just gone up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, but A is 2. So that means we're going to rise 2 and run 1. So you go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, but we do it in both directions. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And we draw our absolute value, whoops, sorry about that, our absolute value equation. And it's a V, okay? So we identified the vertex and then we counted. Now, here is a quadratic equation. We're going to do this the same way. First, we're going to identify the vertex. Well, what's the vertex going to be? It's going to be the opposite of what you see with x and whatever you see here, which is a -3. So that means I'm going to go over to -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, -3, 1, 2, 3. So -4, -3, and now I'm going to count. Well, how am I going to count? Instead of me going over 1, up 1 squared, time up 1 squared, or over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4, over 3, up 9, I'm going to go over 1, up 1 squared times A, which is 2. So over 1, up 2. Instead of going over 2, up 4, because A is 2, I'm going to go over 2, up 8. And I have graphed my parabola. So if it's in vertex form, it makes it very easy for you to find the vertex. Once you know the vertex, you just use the counting method. Now, let's just double check and make sure that I did this right. So if the vertex is -4, -3, I can choose -3, -2. If we plug in a -3, this is 1 squared, which is 1, times 2, which is 2, and that becomes -1. And if this is -2, that's 2 squared, which is 4. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 3 is 5. And let's just see. We went up 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I just counted wrong. 5. And this was -1. So it works, and I did it correctly. Now, you can read this on your own and this on your own. It gives you an example of how to do it. This is called vertex form. Vertex form is y equals a, which tells you how fast to rise or run, parentheses x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k is your vertex. So let's turn to page 36 and we'll try to do another one together, and then I'll have you do 2 on your own. So looking at this equation, what is the vertex? We're going to do the opposite of -3, which is 3, and 2. So that vertex is going to be 3, 2. So I go over to my graph, I go over 3, up 2. That's where I'm starting. Now, instead of going over 1, up 1 squared, I'm going to go over 1, up 1 times a half. So over 1, up a half. Over 2, up 2 squared, which is 4, but I'm going to do 4 times a half, which is 2. And then over 3, instead of going up 9, I'm going to go up 9 halves, which is 4 and a half. and my parabola is wider than the parent function, so it's a shrink, and that's what I would expect. Okay? So now I want you to stop the video, and you're going to do this one. Y equals -2 times x plus 1 squared minus 4, and then this one. You're going to graph this one here, this one here. So stop the video and go ahead and graph those. Okay, so now here I know my vertex is going to be -1, -4. So -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. Now, so let's stop this and we will show the answers on another video.